Yeah, let's kick it off. Slowly do a couple little things.
People filter, and a lot of the people have been through the basic introductions, but I'll go ahead and start it off. I'm Vu. I'm one of the founders of GoldMint Finance. Uh, we're an algo stable on ETH, if you don't already know. I've been working at this project specifically for just about 2 months now, and been in DeFi and following blockchain for around 5 or 6 years. Before then, done a couple different things and been involved in a few different ways, but this is my first protocol. And we'll talk a little bit about why it was a really good time to launch this protocol when we did this evening. Go ahead, Doc.
Oh, sorry, I thought I was muted. Yeah, so I'm Doc, guys. Most of you know me already, but if not, I'm one of the co-founders with Vu. Quick history about myself. So I've been in crypto since about 2017, DeFi for over a year. I've been a big precious metals investor in the past, and PAXG is my boo. So one of my main goals here at GoldMint is to help direct and guide the DAO. So thank you for all for joining.
Yeah, you can go ahead, Zeph.
Hi guys, I'm Zephyr. I'm the community manager for GoldMint, and I like to watch over the community and help facilitate interactions and partnerships and things of that nature. And happy to be here.
Awesome. Yeah, I'm the head of operations monkey. Help facilitate, run the protocol, do a little bit of community stuff, a little bit of everything. It's a pretty fun time. And yeah, pretty much it.
All right, I am Crip Zom, kind of floating around a little bit, helping a monkey with operations as well, um, helping um, try to secure some partnerships have coming up in the future, and help with things around the community. Uh, Always here to help answer any questions if anybody has them. And yeah, excited to be here. We got a long future in this protocol, so stick around and see all the stuff happen that's getting ready to happen and enjoy it.
Yeah, awesome. Let's talk about GoldMint a little bit. Do a little explanation. What is GoldMint,
Yeah,
Vu?
I'll just do kind of the basic rundown for anyone who doesn't already know. We are an algorithmic stablecoin on the Ethereum network, and we are pegged to PAXG. And that means that this protocol uses a 3 token ecosystem as its base. It does a lot more than that, but it uses a 3 token ecosystem to try to maintain the price of PAXG. And we'll talk a little bit about what PAXG is and why we like it so much shortly here. But the way it does this is by having a core base token whose supply is controlled, related to if it is or is not achieving its desired price at the price of one PAXG. So if we're under peg, more GoldMint is not being created. And if we're over peg, more GoldMint is being created. It balances its own supply and demand curve. And it does this by issuing a share or reward style token to the people who participate in the farms, which means they're agreeing to hold their GoldMint, they're staking their bonds, they're providing liquidity. They're participating in the protocol in some sort of healthy way. We're gonna get those share rewards to those types of participants. And then when GoldMint does see that it's over peg, it does not airdrop the GoldMint it prints randomly out into the world, but it gives that GoldMint to the holders and stakers of the share token in what we call the mint. So that's a quick rundown of how the ecosystem works. I'll let Doc hop in here and tell you a little bit about what PAXG is, why we picked that as our peg.
Yeah, thanks, Vu. So PAXG is obviously our peg, and it's in our opinion one of the most unique resources out there that's asset backed. So PAXG is actually one PAXG is backed by an actual real ounce of gold that is held in a vault in England, and ultimately it is redeemable. So not only is PAXG pegged to the actual price of gold, but it's backed by actual real gold. And PAXG can also be minted by depositing fiat or stable coins and then actually minting new PAXG that's again backed by gold. So, in our opinion, it's the absolute perfect peg. It's very stable, at least with regard to blockchain and cryptocurrency standards. And so far, it's served us very well. It's also going to be really the backbone of our DAO and our war chest. That's not only going to help serve to support the protocol, but eventually help provide yield and return for our token holders and community members.
Yeah, that was the best calm, cool, and collected response about how awesome PAXG is that we could have asked for. Doc has really guided us into embracing that as the token that our ecosystem pursues, both in trying to achieve the same price and then in holding that as well for our DAO and using that to just kind of generate additional rewards and support the protocol. But just to say that it's been a great choice of peg, and I always hate to toot our own horns, as they say, but it's almost the understatement of the century. Even just 3 months ago, when we were doing like the core planning of what was going to be GoldMint, Ethereum was trading at over $3,000, probably in like 3,000 to 4,000 range. And it hit almost $1,000 today. And we love Ethereum. That's why we're on the Ethereum network. But we are in such a time in blockchain where even the L1s and the things like Ethereum or Bitcoin, the things we consider to be the most stable, the least risky DeFi style investments, are still experiencing volatility. Other stables are experiencing volatility, and other algo stables are having difficulty maintaining their pegs. And in that time, our message has just resonated so well with our close community. And then we feel like it's really starting to resonate with kind of the broader community, just really in the last 1 to 2 weeks here, as we've noticed kind of an increase in momentum. But I think people are really starting to appreciate. We posted in our server just recently, a price chart again. And in that same time frame, we've seen the overall crypto market go in half, from $2 trillion to $1 trillion, and looked at that chart. And our token started, I think, at like $11 or $12, and it's trading just a little bit under its peg now, around 0.89 or something of that nature, 0.9. So we're in the $1,600+ range. So we have seen absolutely exponential growth, over 100x during what's been really the worst market, some people would say. Potentially in crypto in history these last couple months. So we really have been able to offer something unique, and just having that yield and those rewards, and then having it tied into an ecosystem that loves and seeks PAXG, I think is just it's worked out awesome for us and for this community.
Yeah, I think
Real quick, too, to add on to what Boo had to say, and I say this pretty much in every AMA, but it's worth repeating. I think I haven't looked recently, but I know the total crypto market cap was dropped down to around $1 trillion, right, from a three. The market cap for gold is $12 trillion. The market cap for silver is 1.25 or $1.5 trillion. So when you compare those numbers to, think about the market cap for gold is 10 times the market cap, total market cap for crypto. It's pretty staggering, right? So there's plenty of room to run and to grow with where this is going.
Yeah, 100%.
Yeah, I could say I was, even as much as we love PAXG, I was probably shocked to see how many other people were coming to a similar realization, at the same time as us. To the best of my knowledge, we're the first DAO that exists in blockchain whose purpose is to acquire synthetic gold tokens which are actually backed by gold somewhere. And it shocks me sometimes that I can say that we could be the first ones to do that. It seems like such a logical choice in such a volatile market to kind of pursue that level of stability for your DAO and for your token holders. And to build your ecosystem around it. It seems logical, but we really were the first ones to do it. And that first mover advantage is going to come into play. again, it's not always about being the first or the best, but we have the privilege of being the first, the best, and the only uh, protocol to be on this mission right now. And it's going to take, no one's going to be able to catch up with what we've done. I mean, our TVL right now is somewhere between $4 and $5 million. We now have to add the nodes and the kind of what you see on the main homepage to really round it out, and the Olympus Pro. We've obviously rounded out the ecosystem beyond what I did in the introduction. You guys have noticed we recently released nodes and Olympus Pro discounted bonds. So I can talk a little bit about that too, but we're not just focusing on that peg and those share tokens and some of the things that we're doing with bonds, but we're going to continue to innovate. And I think the move to nodes has been great for the protocol. It's encouraged our first, best, earliest participants to choose to stick around for longer. Ours have a 90-day expiration, which is pretty unique. That's not something that other protocols were focusing on so much, the amount of time. But we thought it would be awesome to get that commitment from the community, and then to kind of return them outsized rewards to what they could expect elsewhere for giving us that commitment. And it's been working out really well. Olympus Pro gave us another way to support that ecosystem and the ecosystem as a whole. The bond GoldMint has a lot of use cases. And now, thanks to Olympus, they gave us one of their bond contracts, which means obviously a different word than what we mean with bond, but it's that vesting contract. So for anyone who's not familiar, the way that works is it's an agreement to wait to get your token slowly over 7 days vested, just like you hear teams might be vested over a year with some sort of team tokens or something like that. But you can choose to wait 7 days to receive that bond GoldMint. And by agreeing to wait, you receive it at a discount. And this is a variable discount. I've been getting this question a little bit. This isn't something that we set where we wake up in the morning and we say, what kind of discount should we make available for you guys? It's based on activity. As more and more people are purchasing the bonds, the discount shrinks. And when less people are purchasing them, the discount grows to incentivize. Ohm described it to me as like a reverse, similar to a Dutch auction, with the price that can kind of drop or raise over time based on if people are buying or not. So keep your eyes on the Olympus Pro. If you checked it this morning and it wasn't the discount you wanted, or it wasn't the rate you wanted, don't forget to check it this evening and tomorrow morning too, because based on other people's participation, that discount is going to change. So by being attentive and paying attention, to that portion of our DApp, you're gonna find the ability to get some pretty cool discounts, and that goes to kind of the people who are paying the most attention. So I did want to share that a little bit.
Yeah, well
If I
said.
can add to what, sorry, Mike, if I could add to what Vu's saying real quick as well, because there's a unique aspect to our bond program, in my opinion. So our DAO was fortunate enough that really we were able to get some generous donations and start off ahead of the game. So right now, whenever anybody is buying a bond through the Olympus Pro program on GoldMint, the PAXG that's being used to buy that bond is going directly to the DAO, and then essentially that's going to be put to work for the protocol. And whether that's going to be making buys to help support PEG, whether that's helping to for more protocol on liquidity. It's a really unique facet of our bond program where we are right now. And our community can really take advantage of that if they do, like Vu said, if you pay attention and you watch the discount to the bonds and you watch the pricing and everything, and you're able to get a bond and then roll it into a node, you can really have a significant ROI and get some value there. So just so everybody knows, the bond program is going back to support GoldMint and to support the protocol 100%.
Yep.
Yeah, it's great to explain that and touch on that for a minute, because it can be missed. So this does not mean when you purchase a bond GoldMint token through Olympus Pro, we are not creating new debt, or a new bond token is not being created. You are actually acquiring the tokens that the DAO has. You're acquiring that bond GoldMint off of the DAO. Now the Foundry still works. So when we when we have an increase in the number of tokens, and there is then a time when we are underpaying, and the Foundry does the math that it's safe and reasonable for the protocol to make more bond GoldMint available, you still do have the ability to get it from the Foundry when it's available. But that is it's less common. So the wonderful thing about the Olympus Pro portion of the site is it's available 24/7. And you also get a discount. So in the Foundry, you don't get the discount, and you can't guarantee that the Foundry is always going to have bond GoldMint for you. But we have not an infinite supply, but we'll be able to use the bond GoldMint that's come into the nodes, the bond GoldMint that's been held by the DAO. We'll be able to use some of the bond GoldMint that's in our ecosystem to keep that Olympus Pro set of bonds supplied. So they should be available at a discount for you guys if you pay attention and check throughout the day.
And on top of that, I think you'll probably expect to see more bond nodes down the line. This really opens up our path to issue and be able to produce more bond nodes for people to use that exact system of getting a pretty good ROI from getting the discount from Olympus Pro and then creating a node with it. You get you get a decent ROI before, as well as a guaranteed return in GoldMint after, by essentially redeeming that bond early. And yeah, it's pretty cool.
Yep. So that rounds out some of the core ways to participate in the ecosystem that are kind of right in front of you on the D app. And then obviously on the back end, we're always working on some other stuff. So you've heard us talk about, especially if you're a loyal, follower and you've been in a couple of these AMAs, that we do have some stuff coming up with NFTs, both of our own on Ethereum that we're going to be releasing on OpenSea. And then we also are doing some NFT collabs with some pretty cool partners out there. And we can talk a little bit about that. Krypton, do you want to hop in on the collabs? I know we got some really cool stuff coming up with El Taco in the next 24 to 48 hours here. And I believe you got some other cool things you've been working on the back end too.
Yeah, for sure. So, hey, everybody. If you guys weren't in here when we did the introductions, I'm Krypton, and I kind of help with operations. And right now I'm kind of focusing on NFT collaborations within a couple protocols. So, the one that we're going to be launching tomorrow, kind of the partnership will be official tomorrow, is when El Taco mints their phase 3, when they open up their phase 3 mint here. And I believe that's happening. I'm trying to confirm with Jesus, but it's sometime tomorrow morning, I believe. So, we'll be over there. I'll definitely be over there. I believe it's 11:30 Eastern Standard Time. I believe they're kind of hosting a little party over there for the phase 3 mint. And at that time, we can talk more about the details of what's happening. But there's going to be some pretty cool tacos coming out with some GoldMint stuff on the tacos. So that's happening. And then I'm also working with another partnership that will be an NFT collab partnership as well. And these NFTs will have utility, and we'll be getting airdrops immediately when those are available upon acquiring these NFTs. So, and with El Taco, it's kind of the same. We're going to immediately, we'll get airdrops from El Taco and from GoldMint as well. So, yeah.
Yeah, we got some pretty cool
Yeah,
stuff and
100%.
partners.
Keep an eye on those rewards. What Krypton's saying there. We've kind of not finished every plan that we're going to do with NFTs. But what you can start to expect with GoldMint is when we say we're partnering with someone for an NFT collab, that means not only are we going to tie some artwork together there, but when you hear a collab with another NFT on an EVM chain, that means that we are probably going to be stocking some sort of GoldMint shares or working some share token rewards into the airdrops or somehow into the ecosystem with those tokens. And based on the partners, how many they're releasing, if it's a limited edition or if we're part of a bigger series, that number might change. But definitely get excited when you see that some of these cool NFT projects are doing some official GoldMint collabs. If you hear about them from us, or see that we're referencing them as accurate, you can be assured that there's going to be some shared GoldMint worked into every GoldMint NFT collab we have going on out there. And then with our own NFTs on the Ethereum network, that's where there is going to be GoldMint rewards. So I've talked about this a little bit briefly, but for anyone who hasn't been filled in on it or is new here, our NFTs are dropping probably in the next 2 to 3 weeks here on OpenSea. We're not going to do a bunch at one time. It's just like everything else with this protocol. Everything's a little bit limited and a little bit slower because we go for high value stuff. So our NFTs are going to have an amount of GoldMint stocked in each one based on the rarity level. So we're going to have 4 different rarities. Some of them are going to have a smaller amount of GoldMint, maybe in the 0.1, 0.2, 0.3 range. And when I say smaller, a 0.1 GoldMint, a peg is $180 worth of free tokens in your NFT. So it's not a small prize or extra incentive in the NFTs in any way. So they're going to have those rewards stocked in there. And then the highest rarity levels, we're probably going to have between 2 to 3 GoldMint in them. So again, like at Peg, you can expect to be looking at a $4,000 to $5,000+ set of tokens contained within some of these NFTs. And that's going to really start to fill out an ecosystem where there's some other cool stuff that we're going to do. I don't want to get too far into the specifics, but once you start hearing about our NFTs, there could be some really cool staking rewards for people who choose not to claim the GoldMint out of their NFTs. So if you get a high rarity NFT and you find that it contains a lot of GoldMint, it can be tempting to take the use it now or have it now option. But we're also going to put some other cool options in front of you. So you will not know at the beginning what rarity level you're getting. They're going to be sealed or wrapped packs, or however you want to describe it. You're going to purchase at the static image, and then when we do our reveal, you'll kind of find out which rarity level you got, and each one has its own cool image associated with it. There's definitely a gold and kind of gold mine theme, so I think that's going to be a lot of fun too. But you can expect when you hear our NFTs, these are not just going to be a picture of something that's gold and shiny. Although I like shiny gold NFTs, our collabs are going to have share GoldMint incorporated, and our own NFTs are going to have GoldMint incorporated, and in some cases, quite a bit of each one of those tokens.
And on top of that, just to
Hey,
touch
Boo,
on that.
can we tell them a little bit? Oh, go ahead, Monkey. I was just gonna ask if we could kind of tell them like the amount of NFTs that we're thinking about,
That's
and then I don't
actually
know if you guys.
exactly what I was going to say. I was just going to say, like, expect for this
Okay.
first batch to see less than 100 NFTs. Like, for the most part, we're not going to be releasing things like over 100 at a time. Like, I know there's a lot of NFT drops that it's like 9,999 or like 10,000 NFTs, but like, yeah, you're not going to see that from us. It's going to be quite a select few, and they're going to have some real value and utility to them.
Yeah, absolutely. That was worth sharing. And like Monkey said, it's going to stick with the theme of everything else we're doing. We're going to bring you some real value NFTs. We're not going to drop 8,000 gifts on the internet that don't do anything. We're going to have a use case and some staking plan, and we're going to have a good amount of rewards associated with each one. And you're finding that we have the same type of collab partners and stuff like that. When we do a collab, that doesn't mean we're just instantly going to show, oh, so and so now has 10,000 GoldMint themed NFTs. They're not going to come out in that style. So there's always going to be an element of rarity to them, and it's just it just makes sense. If we want to put value to them, you can't do that by printing 10,000 NFTs every 2 months. So if we want to get some real value in them, they're going to have some scarcity too, so we can load the ones with the best rewards for the people who do acquire them.
Yeah, and just on that too, this is just like the first batch, the first set. This is kind of just like the play test and see what we can do with them, and then we're continually talking with more people in the back end to figure out more utility and stuff that we can bring in further down the line. You'll probably see like multiple variations of GoldMint NFTs all over the place. I think we're going to have quite a few different fun, cool things set up, and Also on top of that, we are talking with some very cool people right now that have a really cool model and design for their whole ecosystem, and we're thinking about kind of using some of that, but that's a little bit of alpha.
Yeah,
Hey,
it's
also,
actually there's a couple. Go ahead.
I was just curious if we could talk like,
No,
how should I
no.
say this? Can we share it all about the price of NFTs?
Oh, well, we'll say that the price is going to be kind of based around, like, mathematically around the total value of all the gold mint going into the NFTs, and then divided by how many NFTs are being released, because we
Yeah,
don't
it'll
want
have
to.
to do with an average and a small profit. So it'll be
Yeah.
it'll cost a little bit more than the least amount of gold mint that you can get, but it'll certainly be less than the most amount of gold mint you could get. I don't want to give
Yes.
exact numbers, but you could probably assume that falls somewhere between a quarter of a gold mint and a gold mint, uh, depending on how much rewards we decide to stuff into these things.
Yeah. So, like, again, this
No matter
probably
what the
isn't.
number is, it'll be worth it. It'll be
Yeah.
pretty easy for us to show
Mhm.
that.
It's not going to be a cheap mint, but again, they're not just some basic NFT. There's very limited, and they're going to have lots of utility, so they're going to be worthwhile.
Cool. And I also want to touch back on just real quick on the El Taco thing. These guys are a really cool community. They have a great community. They're long term. Um, it's a very interesting community. I encourage everybody to go over, especially in like times like these, go give them some support because we support these guys. They're great. We actually hold now, as of well, we currently have the rights to it, but the DAO will officially hold one of two golden tacos that they will not be releasing any more of. And Doc and I struck a pretty substantial amount of tokens deal with El Taco to acquire that. So that was pretty cool. And I just encourage everybody to go over there, just support them and see what we got coming out with them. It'll be pretty cool.
Yes, always support the partners, Grape, Alto, and Ames, and everybody. We gotta show everybody the love because they've all done some stuff for us. So
Mm-hmm.
Yep. Yeah, even more than that, we're really lucky to have the partners that we have on the
yes,
El Taco. Like Cryptom said, we'll be there specifically ourselves at 11:30 Eastern Standard Time tomorrow. But I think LB from Grape maybe has the spot before us. Alto's
yeah,
in there, maybe in the spot before them. So there's going to be a bunch of our good friends from the area over there. So that is really going to be something fun to check out. We've been doing things with our development partner, Moonvault. Talked about them once or twice. The guy who runs that protocol's got some really cool stuff going on the development end. You guys have noticed that we've been doing all sorts of changes and upgrades and things like that, getting the UI working for the Olympus stuff and for the nodes. We had some issues with our UI calling our data. There was a little while that there were some zeros and stuff showing up. So we're constantly fighting small battles on your behalf. I don't know how else to describe it. We do spend a good amount of time doing what we can to keep everything just running smooth. It's not just about coming up with the next innovation, but it's making sure the current machine is well oiled. And
yeah.
it can be at times probably more difficult than you might guess from the outside.
That I was just gonna say, it was funny. Sweet Oxen was helping us with some stuff, and an error popped up, and I thought it was absolutely hilarious because it was causing our site to crash because it was trying to request like 2,000 API requests per minute or something. So lot of stuff is fun with coding and UI stuff. Um,
Yeah,
doesn't
it's just like anything else. The smallest change, can have the biggest implications. So we try to run a lot of testing on the back end, but we are operating at the speed of DeFi, and there is always something to be learned, and we're always open to suggestions or recommendations. If you notice something, on the UI from a spelling error to a piece of data that's not reporting properly, always feel free to reach out. I mean, you guys have noticed at this point we're very active in our Discord server. I mean, if you have a serious question or concern, usually within 5 minutes you can get a response uh, from somebody on the team.
yeah.
So we're going to try to stay active like that, keep doing things like this, the AMAs. some giveaways. We have an upcoming Twitter Spaces.
Yes, we actually have 2 upcoming. So there's one that's been set up for Friday. That was kind of random. I don't know. That one was really wacky, but we're doing the Twitter Spaces on Friday, so you'll probably find us in there if you want to come join. There's some links to that around, and then there's also hopefully. I think for next Wednesday, we might not even actually do this AMA here, and we might do a Twitter Spaces with somebody else as kind of our AMA, but I think that still has to be fully facilitated. And yeah, I'll keep everybody updated on that for next week's.
Yeah, expect to see some more of those. We have not embraced Telegram as much, but we're going to try to do a wee little bit more outreach there. I had said this in one of our recent AMAs. It's very cool for the people here because we're the people who use Discord the most or use Discord regularly, but there's a lot of different ways to reach out to people. We just had a YouTube video come out from YouTuber James Pelton, and it brought us a lot of new people, participants' eyes, on our system that weren't kind of in these same Discord servers and hanging out in the same group. So it is nice to use different social media and different means of outreach, not kind of get stuck too far in the Discord rabbit hole. So just to make sure we're still talking to the folks who like crypto but don't happen to hang out here, they're okay too.
Yeah, and we're also open to
Hey,
suggestions. What's up?
do you guys mind if we answer some questions real quick?
Yeah,
Yeah,
definitely.
that sounds great.
Okay, so let's see here. I'll pick the first one here that I found. George K. Good afternoon, GoldMint Finance team. Question to open the debate. Have you thought of giving some other use to SGLM apart from being used to print GLDM when we are overpeg? Prevent the sale of these SGLM when we are below the TWAP.
Yeah, that's
Yes.
great question, Jorge.
I
think
can
it's
touch
Jorge.
on that. So, I'll be careful how I say it, but we take a
Mhm.
lot of inspiration from some other successful node projects. We've noticed that we did, and you guys have probably noticed as well, that we released nodes for GoldMint, which it's common to have nodes for your base ecosystem token. We also did them for Bond GoldMint, which is unique. That's not so common, but that should be catching some people's eye. What about that third token in the ecosystem? So instead of just kind of doing a copycat version of what we did with the first 2 types, the GoldMint and the Bond GoldMint node, which have interchangeable prices, and we were able to loop them together and do some things together. We're really going to look at doing something cool here in the next couple weeks with a type of share nodes. It has a little bit of like a gamification aspect to it. So I don't want to go too far into specifics, but yes is the answer to your question. We are thinking about some cool things to do with the shares that are going to be both rewarding and fun, but give them a good use case outside of just the mint in our ecosystem.
As well
And don't forget
as
about the share LP too. There's a great use case now, not to shill participating in the vaults. I know that sounds like the simplest way to participate, but the share US dollar coin LP pool is still somewhere between 2 and 3, maybe somewhere in that range percent at the moment, daily return. In this ecosystem, I mean, there's no guarantees in DeFi, but it's proven to be quite stable in a terrible market for everyone else. So you do have something to look at there if you want to pair some fresh USDC with your share tokens and get some of them into that LP. That is a way for you to further increase your rewards while you're waiting for the mint to print or some other cool innovations to come out.
yeah, like another one is that with Olympus Pro bond program, how it's set up with the bonds, like it might not stop there. There's 2 other tokens as well in the ecosystem, so might be able to see that down the line.
Absolutely. I'm really excited to see what we can do with them. Yeah, just like we talked about with the NFTs and with everything else, what they help deliver with the Olympus Pro, the vesting is not to be underappreciated. It's one small detail of the system. But working that patience into the game, the ability for our protocol to provide something we have to the community at a discount when they're willing to show that patience, kind of gives you the feeling that you're not giving that token to someone who's just looking to sell it as quickly as possible. So working with them and continuing to grow that and using that as a means to bring revenue into the DAO or make things available for the community and stuff. I think there is going to be a lot we can do there outside of kind of what we're experimenting with, merging our style bonds, tomb fork algo stable bonds meant to burn tokens in the ecosystem with their style bonds, a vesting contract that delivers a discount for your patients and a token that the protocol seeks. So merging those two aspects of DeFi is very cool, but we can also embrace the traditional uses of the Olympus Pro program, and we are on Ethereum. So for traditional things, we could even look at not just having UI that's hosted on our site, but possibly things made available for the Olympus community as well. So a lot we can do there.
Perfect. Yeah. A couple other questions are pretty much just about the NFTs that we kind of touched up on and answered earlier, but essentially the utility and will the NFTs receive a revenue % from the nodes? Yes, there's a little bit of setup there that the NFTs are getting the tokens from the node program. So a small percentage, 5% of what goes into the node program will be there to help fund the NFTs and what they're going to be, like what's going into them to bring their value.
That's where the GoldMint comes from. We don't just print tokens here at GoldMint Finance.
Yeah.
The tokens are printed by the ecosystem when they decide it's worth it. So anytime we're giving away a GoldMint or incorporating it, it has to come from somewhere. So those systems actually, in some of our strategy, go ahead. Well, in some of our strategy there, you'll see that some of the GoldMint comes from the nodes to support the NFTs, and then the NFT revenues go back in to support the nodes in an even greater capacity because the NFTs should generate slightly more than what goes into them. So it is maybe not an interesting detail, but a lot of thought does go into each one of these things. And that's why there's a certain number of NFTs and why there's a certain amount of GoldMint in each one. We do look and make sure that each way to participate is rewarding for the participant, but is also mathematically intelligent and stable for the protocol. And you'll find that even if you don't have the ability to research what is best for GoldMint, by looking at the rewards that it incentivizes the most and where the best APR and yield is in the system and some of the most valuable ways to participate or acquire the most GoldMint or share token rewards. Those are likely the best ways to participate for the ecosystem. That's why it delivers rewards to those participants.
Yeah, that's perfect. We definitely are organizing, planning, and thinking about the best ways to benefit participants and ourselves, because otherwise we'd be a broken ecosystem. Like we'd run ourselves out of money essentially just by trying to help the community. But another question will be, will the NFTs be related in some way to the nodes? I've seen in protocols that the NFTs enhance rewards, reduce taxes. Are you thinking of something like that or similar? And yes, definitely looking at lots of different things, as we touched on earlier. There's lots of different protocols and people out there that have some pretty very cool and very unique ideas, and we definitely want to incorporate some of those within our ecosystem to help benefit you guys and bring more fun, cool things. So I think you'll definitely see more utility and use case for the nodes and NFTs, but that is definitely more down the line, not right away. We gotta test and see how things go first.
Yep, but those ecosystems will be codependent and they will help each other in multiple different ways.
Yes, sir. Got some fun stuff
I have
coming.
a question.
What's up?
Does everybody the stars next to everybody's name up here? What does all that mean? This is probably a completely off-topic question.
That's just Discord stuff.
It's just like a symbol associated with a specific role.
Yeah, it's something stupid. It's pretty dumb, honestly, but
It-
Probably a
it-
dumb, probably a dumb question. My apologies for
no,
breaking.
no, you're good, dog. It's
it's
just
good.
Discord's stupid stuff.
It's like a moderator or something like that. Um, so yeah,
I
that
got
is
one more thing too, Boo. Whenever you
yep.
got a minute. Sorry.
Oh, fire it off. What do we got?
Oh, I was just gonna talk real quick about we's. I would say that as a team we've talked about it. I brought up the idea that I'm thinking about starting a podcast that will be
Oh
pretty
yeah.
cool. We'll have some pretty neat people that we're gonna have on there. Uh, yeah, there's a few people that know about it. You guys are pretty much the only people in the audience that we everybody in the audience is that's pretty fresh news here. So nobody really knows about it. I just am kind of dropping it now. I'm gonna get the equipment and yeah, I think I'm gonna start one and it'll be fun if you guys want to join. It'll be cool.
Yeah,
Yeah, we think that might be another awesome way to get the word out. I think Cryptom has a great personality for something like that. And I think it's a good chance to talk about things other than just ourselves. We're starting to grow. We have so many awesome partners. I mean, I could spend a whole AMA talking about innovations at Grape, or not even about one of our specific partners, be it, just something that's going on in the market overall or just concerns, interesting things, maybe occasionally something other than crypto, just so we don't all go too far down the rabbit hole here. So, we're just lightly connected. So there's a lot we can talk about outside of just kind of these same repeat structure AMAs. And I think that would be a great chance to like get some of our friends over, hear some people's thoughts, maybe get some people from the community. We have an awesome community here. I see some of you guys post in that general server, even when I'm working on something else, they do catch my eye. I mean, I see some good insight both on just the world and the market in general, and technical analysis and thoughtful comments on cryptocurrency, and then just as much fun and silly memes that I'm down for all of that too. But I think that would be a really cool way to round it out if we had Crips kind of doing a podcast and being able to talk to our friends and other people in the industry and just get that out there. And something like Spotify, again, another medium, so that we're not just in this same kind of echo chamber. You start to be in the same
Yeah, and
servers
it'll
and
be
see the same.
yeah, completely. Yeah, it'll be fun too. I mean, in case like anybody cares to know, I'm in the United States and I'm located in Montana, so we've got some pretty interesting stories as well that I deal with on a pretty much a weekly basis here. Um, yeah, so it'll be fun to kind of talk about just real life stuff too, and I've got a pretty interesting life outside of the crypto space, along with a lot of guys on this team. So we got lots to talk about, and I'm sure everybody's got stuff to share and about how we got into it, and yada yada. We could talk about all kinds of stuff, so it'll be a good thing, I think.
Yeah, and Sigil just
Couldn't
said he
agree
would let me
more.
know if Goldmint's interested in a custom song/music video. We could get something set up for the podcast intro or something like that. That'd be
Who
cool.
can do this?
Yeah,
We'll
Sigil.
check it out.
Yeah, he said it in the
Yeah.
chat there.
totally.
That'd be pretty interesting.
Let's do it. Yeah, you should give us something.
Yeah, we're
Yeah, I'm down for some custom GoldMint multimedia.
yeah, we're
Oh,
definitely
Boo's
Um,
been dying for an intro for a long time. That's great.
yeah.
Oh my gosh, it's like the first thing I wanted. I'm like, we're gonna start this protocol. It's called GoldMint Finance. We're gonna have the coolest intro ever, and we still don't have it. But your
Well,
priority,
maybe Jill will get it.
That's
yeah,
pretty
it's still coming. So I won't hold my breath, but one of these days we'll have the greatest intro.
yeah,
Um,
I think
Oh, cool.
if
Mhm.
That covered most of the stuff that I wanted to cover. Are there any other questions? Anything else in the chat or anything?
I think there's not really that much else. If anybody else has any questions, type away or raise your hand. You can come up and talk on stage if you want. Other than that, we'll probably do a giveaway pretty quick and wrap her up, and maybe go hang out in the VC text if anybody just wants to chat in general. Yeah.
Yes. Awesome. Anybody have any questions? Anybody want to come up on stage at this time? Unless, is that okay with you, Vu, Monkey?
Oh yeah,
Yeah, come
100%.
on up.
Yeah, cool. Anybody
One
want to come up?
one question is, when are the NFTs available? They're still in development stage, so we still have to do. I'll actually say that the images are fully fleshed out, and I have all of the NFT images. We just have to get it coded. So we just have to work in the back end here to figure out all the code, deploying it on Ethereum, and all the little specifics and how to integrate it within our ecosystem and yada yada yada. So it's probably going
Best
to be,
guess is 2 to 3 weeks.
yeah, I would say a month or less. That was probably the best that you can give right now. But once we have something fleshed out, there'll definitely be a set plan, a set date, definitely with 2 or more weeks of time ahead for you to plan it out or figure stuff out. So yeah. Another question: will you be adding a game later in the future? I mean, we haven't really thought about it or like fully discussed it, but I like 100% would be down. I don't like literally anything. I love playing little games. We could do some gamification, arcade games. What's that old one? The
I do like Grapes. I like Grapes slot machine. That thing's cool, man.
yeah. Our partners do have some interesting things, so there's definitely some stuff out there already we can probably incorporate or
Yeah,
like
we
continue building. So
and there's a lot of fun we can have with our system. We have the gold and the idea of mines and things like that. You find gold works its way into a lot of games. So I think we were just talking about some of it this morning. There will be some cool stuff we
Hmm.
can put in front of you guys to participate.
yeah,
And
tower
we do
defense.
have more stuff coming up too that's really cool that we're working on. We talked this morning. Obviously, I can't say anything, but man,
Oh
it's going to
man.
be exciting. You guys just stick around. It's super solid team. Nobody's going to rug you here, and we are just here to grow and have the best community in DeFi is the goal.
Yeah, we've had about
Yes,
almost
we
5
we are
million.
well on our way there. Especially, the way this community's been able to rally and come together in this type of market is just been outstanding. I couldn't be happier and more thankful for you guys.
Yes, 100% community is everything, and like as Cryptome said, like we're obviously not going to rug you, and if we were going to rug, we probably would have done it a long time ago, and when we had like almost 5 million TVL, so definitely not a worry for I hope anybody, but just in case, there's lots of safety and stuff in place, and multi-sig, everything is fully safe.
Any other questions?
How safe is your site when we connect our wallet to it? I I don't really know exactly, but like I guess what Jorge said, very safe. There's literally nothing that we can do, or what the devs or what is in the code. There's nothing in place that can do anything other than allow you to interact with the contracts within our D app. So that's pretty much it.
Yeah, the risks you have to look out for as a participant are going to be more likely to end up on a site that you think is GoldMint.finance and is
Yes.
not. First, always make sure you have the HTTPS. Most scammers, I mean, you can type in HTTP dot, colon slash GoldMint.finance and still take you to our correct site. But always make sure you're seeing that HTTPS. Most of your problematic people are not going to have the ability to get that secure certificate and that lock on their site. And just make sure you're reading each time that GoldMint.finance. That's the reason we're called GoldMint Finance, and that's the whole, GoldMint.finance. There's nothing more, nothing less, than our name with that dot in the middle. So just do make sure that you're on the right site. That's, a lot of
Yeah.
times when things go wrong there, it's when people believe they're on the correct site and they've clicked a bad link somewhere or ended up somewhere that looks similar but isn't the correct space.
I think that has like the best way to say it is that like you're 100% here at GoldMint Finance. Your only worry is anywhere else. Don't get phished. Don't do anything stupid outside of anywhere else. Use the correct links. Do everything officially through the official website. The Discord here. All the correct links are here. And yeah, be safe. Also, it's the only other risk is it's investing. Be safe. If you lose money, you lose money. It's your own fault. So.
Pretty well said.
It's the best I got.
What else we got? Any other questions, guys?
Yeah, there is one. I see one. The question, I guess it's kind of a question. It says one concern was the fluidity of the web, maybe because of the server where the server is hosted, or I don't know. Have you thought of any improvement in that regard? My concern is if we start to get more views and interactions on the web, which may cause an unwelcome impression on some people. And I think he's talking about the UI.
And he
Yeah.
definitely has a
So
good worry there.
we are both already doing that and looking at future stuff. So it's like it's hard to explain, but I mean, we pull data. We have people that we pay as a website that's on the internet, just ignoring, everything about blockchain, just existing for you guys to access. So we have that data, that's always reported to you guys, be it the price or the TVL or things like that. We have a lot of data that we want to put in front of you. So we pay to make sure that we can call all that data instantly from the places we need to call it. And we're constantly upgrading and looking for better ways to make that data call better. Do remember that some of the delays are from occasionally the Ethereum network itself. That's where this data comes from. Our tokens are not traded on some very central exchange somewhere. It's pulling it from Uniswap v2, .info or something like that. So it is actually accessing information that comes in live from the blockchain. And Ethereum is slightly slower than some of the other L2s. There are some advantages to having an algo stable protocol on a slightly faster network than Ethereum. I think Ethereum is plenty fast enough for us, and we're happy. But there can be some slowdowns when the network itself is busy. Some of these last couple days and stuff too. So always do check that. A good sign is if gas is through the roof. If you look in, you're seeing the GUI is 200 or something like that. There's a good chance that's also a time where we'll be struggling to pull data, even with a small number of users on our site.
And another thing on that, I think another thing you could have been questioning was like the overall security and safety. There have been hacks in the past, specifically with other like seniors protocols on the front end, it being their server host and stuff, and allowing different attacks to come through. And we're definitely going to be working to ensure we
Yeah, I
provide a
will
safe
say this, that we
host.
do take as robust of an approach to security as we can. I don't like to give direct answers to that because I actually care. You know what I mean? I don't like to say we use exactly this or exactly that, but I can tell you, yes, we certainly don't just have a website. We certainly do other things that are extra, even at expenses or costs or things like that, to make sure that that is monitored and secure. And we do look for different ways that people come into websites, be it through uh, malicious script. We do look at that, yes,
Yeah,
all the time.
we pay to make sure that our website is secure and safe. So we pay the hosts to say yes, make sure there's all the protection possible on our website so that it can't get hacked. So yeah, we want to make sure everybody's safe. That's one of the core things here at GoldMint, is the transparency and longevity and everything. So alrighty.
Anything else?
I don't think so. Oh, and this one guy's just asking on the topic of the website. The actual numbers are showing like zeros or NAN, and yeah, that's like based on the fact of the data providers, the people there. We pay them quite a lot of money, and they provide us a pretty slow service, and we are looking to upgrade to better hosts so that we can pay a fair amount of money for a fast feed of data, so that stuff starts reporting correctly, and hopefully once we can do that, there will be no more NANs or zeros or unable to read data.
Yeah, and the best thing you can do in the meantime is, be connected, especially on the web. You usually get a better, like PC. If you're on, PC, you're probably going to get a better response time than maybe on some of the cell phones and stuff like that. but yeah, we do constantly look at ways to kind of improve the speed of that reporting. And if you ever are in a situation where you need to know the price right away, do remember that on our homepage we also have access to that GoldMint and SGLM chart. Price of bond GoldMint's obviously the same as the price of GoldMint. So if you do have a moment where you're particularly curious, if we're at or above peg or what the current price of a share token is, we do have the links to those charts there for you as well at any point where you aren't getting your data. And then we're now on DBank as well, which is nice. We had a DBank vote. I noticed that one of the generous DBank voters is in the audience here, so definitely a special thank you to him.
Special thanks to
Guapo.
that guy there. Yep.
But yeah, so that is another way. If you use DBank to track your portfolio, you can see your holdings, the value, I believe, of GoldMint and GoldMint shares are both tracking on DBank now. And we just submitted additional data to CoinMarketCap and have a follow-up going out to CoinGecko to try to pursue those, some more as well. So we're going to keep getting you more and more better access to data as quickly as we can.
Awesome. Yeah, I think we can probably wrap it up here. It's getting kind of pretty late now, so what do you want to do for a little giveaway, Vu?
I pulled a random number like 20 minutes ago or 10 minutes ago. I was going to do it. It was 12. There's different people here now, but Seal the Deal was number 12 when I pulled it. So Seal the Deal just won a whitelist spot.
Whitelist spot and 1 share token. Seal the Deal. If you go ahead and open a ticket in support tickets, just send us your Ethereum address and we'll get you a whitelist spot and 1 share token. SGLDM.
Oh, and let's do that also for one. We will pick at random a person who comments on the YouTube video within 24 hours. We'll pick one winner at random to win the same thing, a whitelist spot and a share token. So if you're listening to this on YouTube, you want to go ahead and comment. We'll go ahead and get you entered for a chance to win the same thing.
Like, comment,
Seal the Deal is actually, he's one of my homies, so.
Right on.
Yeah.
I don't know. How do I get him up here?
Let's see. Let me get him.
Hey, what's up, fellas? Can you hear?
Yep. What's happening?
Whitelist spot, I believe.
What's that?
Oh, you got one already?
I believe I already have one. I never opened up the ticket, so you can give my new one to somebody else.
Oh, reroll.
You may go ahead and claim your share token and enjoy already being on our whitelist. And why don't I pull you another random number?
1 through 13.
Yeah, I'll get with Cribzom and figure out how to. I don't know how to open the ticket or whatever. Or shares, but.
That's all good, man.
Did I get set up there?
Wait, was that Ben?
Okay, the brain. You just won yourself a whitelist spot, and just keeping with the spirit of the giveaway, also 1 share GoldMint token. So congratulations, Benova.
So yeah, Benova, open a ticket, or even just in the AMA discussion talk here, and send us your Ethereum address, and we'll send you over a little gift.
Skino had his hand up. I don't know if still had
if anyone else has
question.
any questions or wants to ask anything of the team, go ahead, you put your hand up, we'll get you up here. And if not, well, that's good then, man. Thank you guys for joining us tonight.
Nova.
Oh, wait.
Yeah, get him up.
Let's see if he'll come up.
He's green now.
Hey.
Oh.
It is the brain. It's hard for me to see on the smaller logo down there.
Classic. Hey, you're muted there.
Well, happy
Okay.
to
Nova.
have you up here. You're still on mute. Oh, you're gone now.
Well, it was fantastic to have you up here, but I guess we'll probably just close her out now.
Cool.
Well, sounds good, guys.
Thanks, guys.
everyone.
Yeah, everybody have a good night, and thanks for coming.